So I log on to Facebook and there's another Donald Trump headline, except for this time it is death threats on Donald Trump's family, leaked social security number of Donald Trump and all of his personal information, and I am very upset about that. It's a sad day when a candidate who actually is loved or wanted by the majority of the Republican Party gets death threats for actually winning. You like him, you love him. You don't like him, you don't love him. I don't care. He don't deserve this, and his family definitely does not deserve this. He's not done anything to deserve this. I've been saying for the longest time that he's not a racist, and that I was ticked off the media for constantly drilling that into everybody's head that Donald Trump was a racist. He's not a racist. He's never been one. And it's funny because Fox News all of a sudden is defending him, which I'm glad that they're defending him, because he deserves to be defended on this. And they're partly to blame, or mostly to blame, for all of this anyways. But Fox News came out and said, well, you know, people need to realize that just because he's against the illegals doesn't mean that he's a racist. Really? No crap. Are you serious right now? Where was that statement 2 months ago? Where was that statement 2 weeks ago? Where was that statement 2 days ago? You are responsible for this. You have sat here and drilled that in people's head that he is a racist. Shame on the media. Shame on the GOP establishment. Shame on Ted Cruz, because Ted Cruz is constantly Instagramming and tweeting and Facebooking about how Donald Trump is my mind just went blank because I'm so angry, is a racist. Shame on Ted Cruz for saying that he wants to ban Muslims. That's not what Donald Trump said. He said temporarily ban Muslims, but of course Ted Cruz and the rest of the world are going to take that and turn it into something that it's not. Shame on all of them. Shame on them. And shame on the media for sitting here and constantly making people think this about him when it was not true. It was false. And now look what you've done. Now you put a freaking target on Donald Trump's head about him being a racist. That's bullcrap, and you all should be ashamed of yourselves if you've done that. I am so livid right now. I'm so livid. You know, this country is dividing more and more every day. You got Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Mexican Lives Matter, Police Lives Matter, Orange Lives Matter. Donald Trump orange, and that was a little joke I was throwing in there, but seriously, you've got all of these groups, and everybody is just, you know, coming apart. Stop with the race stuff. Stop it already. Stop looking at me as a white person. Stop looking at the next person as a black person. Stop looking at this person as a Chinese person, and start looking at each other like we're Americans, because that's what we are. We are fellow Americans. We should be banding together and loving one another, and just stop already. It's ridiculous. You know, there's a protest that is scheduled to march to Trump's the Trump Tower pretty soon. I forget what the date is. I think it's next week. And they want to send the message to Trump that hate is not a good thing and that we need to do away with it. What a better way to show how bad hate is, by doing something hateful to do it. Really? I'm livid right now. I'm upset with our Republican Party right now. I'm upset with my fellow Americans who are promoting the lies, trying to, you know, protest my right to vote, to sit there and, you know, threaten me as a Trump supporter. Anybody that's a Trump supporter should get executed. If we hear you say that you're a Trump supporter, we're going to execute you. Really? Guys, this is the America that we live in today, and it is sad. It is very sad. And just step back for a second and look at it. Stop blaming Donald Trump for everything that's going on. Media needs to take responsibility for their actions. They have caused this, along with the GOP and everybody else. Put these ideas in people's head that Donald Trump is a racist. Now look what has happened. Now Fox News all of a sudden wants to come back and say, hey, you know what? He's not a racist. I am just livid. But, you know, whatever. Y'all need to say a little prayer for this country. Okay? We need to say a prayer because it ain't looking real good right now. Our right to vote, our right to freedom of speech, our right to, our rights are gone. They're getting taken away little by little. Little by little. And there's so much hate right now. It's sad. There's too much hate in this country, in this world. And, you know, how are we going to fight the bad guys when we're fighting each other? How are we going to do that? You know, we're going to look real stupid when some organization comes in here and attacks us because we were too busy fighting with each other. Should be ashamed of your country right now. Say a prayer for your country because it needs one.